send to do nothing for us. We don't pay to handle our problems.
Mm-hmm.
You got to put in your own work. You failed.
Beef me up, right? Because try to glorify bullshit. Like you try to glorify so try to glorify that ain't that. It's flaw. We know when it's flaw when we deal with them in the streets. We know when it's flaw. Like we understand that they flaw. We don't capitalize off their flawness though, because we'll capitalize off real. We ain't gonna capitalize off no being flawed, weak as hell. We understand what a weak as hell. Then he a street, call himself a street. He could be a street, but he's still weak as hell. We don't capitalize and try to glorify this shit. Nah, we gonna sit and have conversations about as strong as us. We don't have conversations about as weak as hell.
Jay Prince is still holding a grudge, and this time, things nearly got physical. Word on the street is he actually tried to get Mase and Cam'ron jumped over that Shakur Stevenson drama. You remember how it started, right? Last year, Cam and Mase clowned Jay Prince on their podcast after he said he'd fade all Shakur's shots and take any bet as Shakur's manager. Cam and Mase weren't having it. They dragged Jay for still acting like he's in the streets despite his age. And let's just say, they torched him on air. Now here's where it gets wild. Jay Prince stayed silent back then, so folks figured the beef was dead. But nope. A year later, things just exploded again. Cam got pressed backstage at a private event in Atlanta. Some dude stepped to him and told him to keep Shakur's name out his mouth, straight up. And it wasn't just Jay moving in the shadows. Shakur himself had smoke too. He threw shade at Mase, calling his rap career a flop, and even threatened to knock out Cam if it ever came to that. So yeah, it's messy again, real messy. Let's break down exactly what popped off and how Mase and Cam fired back after Jay Prince allegedly tried to set them up. Cam'ron pulled up to Atlanta 2 weekends ago, scheduled as a special guest commentator for a boxing meets hip-hop exhibition. But things took a turn real quick. He was supposed to hit the mic for a brand new sports panel pilot, but according to multiple insiders, Cam never even made it on stage. Eyewitnesses say Cam got into a tense moment backstage with some random men who weren't even part of the event. And now folks are whispering that these guys were sent by none other than Jay Prince himself. Whatever got said backstage must have been serious, because Cam dipped from the building just minutes later. Now here's where it gets even messier. This whole drama popped off not long after Jay Prince Jr. clapped back online at Cam and Mase for disrespecting his dad.
Here, another body shot, good combination from Stevenson.
Cartonian still strong. But you either got to create your offense off your jab, Tess.
All in favor of your winner by unanimous decision. And still, WBC lightweight champion of the world, Shakur.
So when you get in the ring, you're not entertaining. We don't want to keep hearing about the sweet science. We're looking for entertainment. We're paying bucks for entertainment. And you're not entertaining. But listen, if the fight was smoking, nobody had to walk out. You should not be the main event fighting like the undercard. Your fight was like the undercard. All the smoke was before you. So they need to rearrange how you're going. You're like a headliner that really need to be the opening act.
So fans are starting to wonder, were those men actually Junior's crew pulling up to check Cam in person? Let's rewind for a second. This beef really lit up back in July 2024 when Cam and Mase went all in on Shakur Stevenson. It all started after Shakur defended his WBC lightweight title against Artem Harutyunyan in Newark. The fight was super technical, lots of defense, barely any punches flying, and the crowd even started booing. Fans were calling it a snooze fest, but Cam and Mase took it way further. They posted a video pretending to fall asleep while watching the fight, straight up trolling. And on their podcast, they didn't hold back. Mase said Shakur just needs to admit he's not headliner material. Cam even said he saw people getting up to buy coffee mid-fight just to stay awake. That's how dull it was. But Shakur Stevenson wasn't about to let that slide. He snapped back at Mase and Cam with zero chill. First, he reposted a clip of Mase saying he didn't even want to see Shakur fight anymore. And in the caption, Shakur flamed him. Same way I felt about his rap career. More famous for his podcast than his failed career pack. The GOAT man, who even are Mase and Cam'ron? Then he really got petty. Shakur threw shots at Mase for walking away from Diddy's Bad Boy Records to become a preacher. He called Mase a fake pastor and mocked the whole surviving Diddy situation. The shade was heavy, but he didn't stop there. Shakur took it next level and sent a straight-up warning. He wrote, "Tell them watch the way they talk on that podcast. I ain't ducking no smoke. Lil homie ready to go to war with all these soft dudes." Shakur made it crystal clear. He feels disrespected. What really pushed his buttons was the fact that neither Cam nor Mase has ever stepped into a ring, yet they keep running their mouths like boxing experts. He said, "You know what irks me? When dudes talk boxing but never gloved up. This fat dude Mase and Big Teeth Cam need to shut up. They never been in no ring. Everybody out here gloving up. Tell them to glove up or shut up and get this work." Shakur made it personal. And now the tension's on a whole new level. Even Terrence Crawford jumped in to back up Shakur. He tagged him on IG and wrote, "F him. Little bro, let them know how you feel. They letting you know how they feel." That was a full cosign from one of boxing's biggest names. But Cam wasn't about to let that failed career jab slide. He stepped up for Mase and clapped back hard at Shakur on Instagram. Cam posted, "Failed rap career? Hey Shakur Stevenson, 3 months after you were born, Murda dropped his first album and went quadruple platinum, 5 million sold without social media. That's facts." Cam basically reminded him that Mase had already made history before Shakur even knew how to walk. Then Cam and Mase kept the heat coming. They dropped a clip showing fans walking out of Shakur's last fight. The caption read, "A little hometown love number. Newark, that is. Harlem would never." Total disrespect. And just when it seemed like things were calming down, bam! Jay Prince jumped into the chaos again, this time defending Shakur with his usual tough talk. He hit IG and wrote, "I'll fade all Shakur's shots and take any bets."
Subjective, right? So if art is subjective and I don't like something, you can't really get mad at us because we don't like something. And I'm gonna tell you another thing, when you're dealing with older people, they're the last to know that things have changed. We not your little like the way you talk it, I don't get what you mean. We're not your little it's like for real, all that big homie stuff, that's for little have big homies. We're not little. So we don't even respect big homies. I know Killer doesn't. And for me, I never respected in the streets. That's why I always got the problems I got. Tell me, Mase, chill. No, chill for what? Who is this? That's how I feel listening to this, man. Like, I want to respect you, but I can't. And I'm going to tell you why. Because if I got a little, like the dudes that raised me, if I was out of pocket, they would tell me I'm out of pocket. They wouldn't let me put them on a crash out mission. They would say, "Yo, Mase, listen. Mm-hmm. Around here, we don't send to do nothing for us. We don't pay to handle our problems. Mm-hmm. You got to put in your own work around here, Lord, man. That's what you were supposed to tell them. You can't go out here and talk crazy and then send me on a mission." Mm-hmm. Nah, this is where the game got messed up when young started sending old out And just because this little ignorant got a few dollars, he make all of you that's supposed to be real run after his mission? This is a problem, Jay Prince. And I'm going to tell you like this. If you're 60 years old and you're trying to be a street, you failed. You failed.
Then he doubled down, saying, numbers don't lie, haters do. Y'all call him boring, but the truth is, he's got the #1 ratings on ESPN this year and top 3 since 2022. Then he dropped a warning that made things even spicier. To all you haters trying to take it outside the ring, I'm Shakur's manager. I handle everything outside the ring too. Yeah, that wasn't just a statement. That was a threat. So yeah, Cam and Mase heard Jay Prince loud and clear when he said, I'll fade all his shots and take all bets. But guess what? A week later, they came right back swinging. This time, they aimed straight at Jay Prince himself. Mase didn't hold back. He clowned Jay for still trying to play the street game at 60 years old. Straight up said he's too old to still be moving like that. And Cam, he hit even harder. He said he lost respect for Jay way before this whole Shakur mess even popped off. Meanwhile, Shakur just kept the shots coming. He started calling Cam and Mase old, washed, and irrelevant. And when he pulled up to the Breakfast Club, he downplayed the whole thing like it was a joke. Shakur said he can't even take them seriously because they're just trolls making money off clowning people online. Now the fan base is split down the middle. Some are standing 10 toes behind Jay Prince, saying he's the reason Shakur even made it to the spotlight. They're giving him his flowers for backing Shakur from the jump, some even comparing Shakur to Floyd Mayweather. Joe Rogan himself jumped in and said if anybody deserves the Mayweather comparison, it's Shakur. But then you got the other side saying Jay Prince might actually mess up Shakur's future. They're saying he's too controlling, got too much street drama tied to his name, and could be moving shady behind closed doors. A lot of folks feel like this gangster image is dragging Shakur down instead of lifting him up. And just when you thought it couldn't get any messier, boom! More smoke started brewing from behind the scenes. People close to the situation say there's real tension between Shakur's inner circle and the industry folks who used to support him. Word is, some major promoters are quietly backing away from doing business with Shakur, and not because of his skills in the ring, but because of Jay Prince's involvement. Behind closed doors, execs are saying Jay's street reputation is making Shakur too risky to market long-term. One insider even said, Shakur got hands, no doubt, but the energy around him, it's starting to scare off money.
Said it exactly. You 60, you 60. What are you talking about? What are you, bro? I lost mad respect for you because I used to have mad respect for you. When you had Shakur with you, when you line Young Boy NBA up, why the you got Shakur with you? And this is why he acting like that. This is exactly why he acting like that. Talking about you got Young Boy NBA umbrellas and his keys to his car. Young Boy NBA told y'all this is what he said. This is not 1982, bro. You cannot sit here and tell get the strap and then be quiet. Nobody know that part because I just be going viral. You bugging, James, you bugging, man. And I'm gonna leave it at that. I don't know what bet you talking about, all that other slang then. Bet it, whatever bet you talking about, bet it. I don't know what's bet it.
At the same time, Cam and Mase kept applying pressure. On their latest podcast episode, they threw another jab saying, how you gonna be the face of boxing when folks leaving your fights before the bell even rings? Mase also called out the fake tough guy vibes coming from Shakur's team, saying real street dudes don't flex online. They move in silence. And fans? They're eating all this up. Some are turning on Shakur, saying he's letting his ego ruin everything. Others think Cam and Mase are just too petty and trying to stay relevant off the drama. But one thing's for sure, the boxing world hasn't seen beef this spicy in a long time. Now the question is, will Shakur prove the haters wrong in the ring, or will the drama outside start costing him everything he's worked for? Stay tuned, because this saga's far from over. Now here's where things really start spinning out of control, Because after all the online shots and podcast jabs, there's now talk of real consequences behind the scenes. Sources say Cam and Mase were approached by security officials at a recent event and warned that continuing this beef might start causing safety issues for future appearances. That's right, this feud is no longer just internet drama. It's now being flagged as a potential security risk. One insider said, "They told Cam straight up, y'all need to chill before someone tries to turn this into something it don't need to be." And apparently, it's not just empty threats. Rumors are floating that certain venues in Atlanta and Houston are getting cold feet about hosting anything involving both parties. Some event promoters are even making artists sign agreements promising no sneak disses or hostile mentions on stage. Meanwhile, Shakur is still doubling down. In another recent interview, he brushed off the idea of ending the beef and said, "I ain't apologizing for nothing. They talk slick, I talk back. It's that simple." He's not backing down at all. But guess who just re-entered the chat? Rap legend Prince Jr. is reportedly planning to go live and speak on the situation directly for the first time, uncut, and folks are saying he's got receipts and dirt on Cam and Mase that could flip the whole narrative. This thing isn't slowing down, it's heating up. And now, with legal teams, security, and major platforms starting to pay attention, everyone's wondering, how far is this gonna go before someone finally pulls the plug? And now, things just took a wild left turn. Word on the street is that Prince and Prince Jr. are gearing up to drop a tell-all through a podcast or documentary, something major to clear the air and expose what really went down behind the scenes. Insiders say they've been gathering footage, text receipts, and old audio for months, and it's all aimed straight at Mase and Cam. Meanwhile, Cam and Mase ain't sweating it, or at least that's how they're playing it. They recently went live and basically laughed off the whole thing. Cam said, "They trying to scare us with documentaries now? Bro, we from Harlem. We live through this type of pressure daily." And Mase chimed in saying, "If you got dirt, drop it. We'll be right here, waiting." But this ain't just talk. There's now buzz that a lawsuit might be forming. A small promotion company is reportedly considering legal action, saying the drama between Shakur, Prince, and Cam and Mase messed up a planned event deal. According to sources, they're claiming breach of contract and reputational damage. At the same time, fans are starting to turn on each other online. Twitter and IG comments are split down the middle. Some are saying Shakur needs to focus on boxing, while others claim Cam and Mase are purposely dragging his name for clout. Now you got fans, execs, promoters, and legal reps all tangled in this mess. And if that documentary drops, oh, it's gonna get explosive. This ain't just beef anymore. This is looking like a full-blown war of receipts. And just when it felt like things couldn't get any crazier, bam! Another twist just dropped. A leaked clip just hit the internet, showing what appears to be a behind-the-scenes moment of Cam'ron arguing with security at that Atlanta event, where he allegedly got pressed.
Still, any message for Cam and Mase? Y'all been going back and forth a lot over the last week.
They ain't got my respect.
Fight?
I didn't.
Holy shit.
Nope.
Holy shit.
Good?
He's good. He's on another level right now, man. He's on another level. I mean, he is so smooth. And his movement, his ability to, like, punches were coming at him, and he just lets them get right there.
Oh, yeah? Like
just right to there. They touch him, and then bam, fires back. His accuracy, his technique, his efficiency.
Yeah, I gotta watch it.
Beautiful. We were watching it in between shows when I was in Colorado this weekend doing comedy, and we were watching in between shows, and I was like, God damn, he's good. He's so smooth. He's so efficient and technical. Like, everything was on point.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it for sure.
It was awesome.
Dude, what do you think?
They're fire. And it was just the smoothness. And a lot of people were saying it's like Floyd Mayweather-esque. And you could say that. You could say that. It was so, but it was, you know, it's Stevenson-esque. It's just Stevenson coming into his prime and letting everybody know, because it's such a high-profile venue. I mean, he's at the MGM and he's fighting on ESPN.
In the grainy footage, you can hear Cam saying, "Y'all knew they was gonna be here and you ain't say nothing?" That's foul. Fans are now debating whether this proves that someone tried to set him up at that event on purpose. Meanwhile, Mase dropped another subtle jab in a recent Instagram story. He posted an old pic of himself at Bad Boy with the caption, "Survived the 90s, I ain't worried about today's internet gangsters." That had folks going wild in the comments, some calling him a legend for standing tall, others accusing him of dragging things out for views. And get this, Shakur just landed a brand deal with a major fitness company in the middle of all this drama. Some people are praising him for staying focused and leveling up his bag, but others say the company's using the controversy to drive hype around the campaign. Either way, the timing is wild. Now folks are saying this whole feud might end up on a reality series or even a docu-series deal. With cameras following everybody and drama at an all-time high, this saga is starting to feel less like a beef and more like a full-blown entertainment empire in the making. Who's really winning here? We're about to find out. Now here's the craziest part. After all the sneak disses, back and forth threats, and IG smoke, Cam and Mase just flipped the script completely. Yup, you heard right. In their latest podcast episode, instead of firing more shots, they said they're ready to move on, but not without throwing one last jab. Cam looked straight into the camera and said, "We not scared. We just got bigger things to handle, but let it be known, ain't nobody ever pressed me in my life, and that ain't start in Atlanta." Mase added, "We not giving this no more life. We got a show to build, businesses to run. But next time someone got something to say it to our face, not through IG comments and behind-the-scenes threats." Now fans are shook. Some are calling it a mature move, while others think Cam and Mase are trying to dodge heat after things started getting too real. But it's not over yet. Because now Shakur's camp is hinting at an exclusive sit-down interview, uncut, raw, and all about the drama. His team says he's ready to tell the truth and finally air out all the disrespect, threats, and behind-the-scenes manipulation that's been happening. And with all this talk of interviews, documentaries, lawsuits, and street tension, this whole thing has spiraled way beyond boxing and music. What started as a few slick comments has turned into one of the most chaotic celebrity feuds of the year. So now the question is, who's really telling the truth? And who's just playing the game better? As for Mase and Cam'ron, yeah, the fans are split on them too. Some folks online are dragging them hard, calling them nothing but gossip kings who stay in drama just to keep their names alive. One Reddit user even said, "Being an adult is realizing that Cam and Mase criticizing Shakur Stevenson is hater energy in its fullest. They're about to be 50 soon. They just as cringe as Jay Prince." Ouch. But let's not act like it's all hate, because Mase and Cam still got a solid army backing them. Their supporters are saying these two got guts for calling out Jay Prince by name and standing their ground. One fan commented, "Jay Prince is a dangerous man, but I respect Mase and Cam for not folding." That takes heart. And another one from Houston straight up said, "I'm from the H and I've always hated how dudes out here act shook around Jay like he's the boogeyman. Respect to Cam and Mase for keeping it real." And here's the truth. Love them or hate them, folks are always tuning in when Cam and Mase talk. Whether they're stirring the pot or dropping gems, these two are straight up entertainment gold. So what side are you on? Team Cam and Mase or Team Shakur? Either way, the drama is far from over, and we'll be right here breaking it all down for you. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who loves the tea. We've got way more coming, and you don't want to miss what's next. See you on the next one.